Well, hello there. Oh my gosh, you should see what I'm seeing. This is really pretty cool. Welcome to the Gecko Man's reptile room. This is my incubator, and I found something really cool in here this morning. And obviously, I'm really excited about it. This is phenomenal. Would you like to have a look? Looky there. I hope you can see it. That is so cool. You know, I'm betting that's not a good enough look for you, or a close enough look. Would you like to have a closer look? All right, time for that closer look. Hang on a second. All right. I want to thank my daughter for helping me film. But I've got the camera now. Check out this little cutie. How cool is that? That is a jungle trimper albino. And she's got a stripe on her tail. She, he, whichever. Definitely got some tangerine colors coming in there. She just hatched last night. But she's so cute. All right, so I'm gonna put the lid back on her so she doesn't try to escape. So 30 plus years ago was when I first got into breeding leopard geckos. Unfortunately, I didn't stay in it very long. But one of the first babies I produced was a jungle. This is back before jungles were really commonplace. Both parents just look like wild type, or normals as they're sometimes called. And they threw a jungle. And she was by far my favorite leopard gecko I've ever produced. I was so stoked to see her. And, you know, jungles just, gosh, they were not commonplace at all at that point. And they were going for big bucks. You know, back then, getting $300-400 for a leopard gecko was quite a bit of money. You know, your normal babies were selling for 25, in retail stores, maybe 50. So to get a jungle was pretty exciting. And I had her until I got out of leopard geckos, and one of the reasons why I got out of leopard geckos is because I lost her. I grew her up and was breeding her, and she got egg bound in her second clutch. Unfortunately, the other 2 eggs in the first clutch, well, they proved out to be infertile and never hatched. I ended up losing her. She was actually part of the reason why I decided to stop working with leopard geckos, because I don't know, you know, looking back 30 years ago, I probably didn't realize it was a little bit of depression for me, but I think it was. And it just wasn't something that I really wanted to continue to do. So to have this baby hatch today is just something special. It just really means a lot to me. And I don't know, I gotta think of a name for her. So maybe, you know, comment below a good name. Well, I guess I could tell you the genetics. And I really owe a big thank you to Brett at B&M Geckos, because both her dad, which is Max, if you go back and look at some other videos, you'll see Max. Max is an emerine trimper albino raptor, and he's just an amazing gecko. He's a beautiful gecko. Mom is an albino jungle, trimper albino jungle, or jungle albino trimper, however you want to say it. So to have this one hatch was pretty special, but there's a little more to it. As you saw that in the video, there is some mold inside that box. I switched to these Glad boxes this year, and I've abandoned them because every set of eggs that I've put in one of these Glad containers, doesn't matter how much water I put with the vermiculite, doesn't matter whether it's got air holes or not, I've had nothing but mold issues. So I've moved away from them with the exception of this clutch. 4 days ago, I came down here and mold was covering her egg, just covering the top of her egg. And I thought, oh, man, I've lost another one. And then something triggered my mind. I don't know who coined the phrase, but the first time I heard it was actually with Snake Discovery in one of their videos. Emily was battling mold with bull snake eggs, and she said, incubate until there is no debate. So the eggs were due to hatch. They're actually overdue to hatch. So I pulled out a razor blade and wanted to check them because I thought, well, the mold's probably killed the embryo, and you know, maybe they're bad eggs. So I sliced into the first one, and the embryonic fluid that came out was clear, which is a great sign. That's what you're looking for. And there was just a teeny tiny bit of blood, which is normal. Don't freak out on me. There's blood vessels that run through a healthy egg. And if you do slice them, they are going to bleed a little bit. So I didn't open the egg. I just put the egg back in the box. And I thought, well, you know what? If the embryonic fluid is good and there's blood from a blood vessel, then maybe there's a chance that the embryo inside is actually good. And she was. And she hatched. And there's one more egg in there. So I'm probably going to give it another day and give it a chance to hatch, and then I'll actually cut it open. And you know what? I would love to show you how I'm going to set this little girl up. She'll be in this box for the next day or two until she goes through her initial shed. But her crawling around may actually help her sibling to come out of its egg. It's a fascinating phenomenon that happens with reptiles in the wild. They trigger each other to hatch. So I'm hoping that'll happen so I won't actually have to cut the egg. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And not very often do leopard gecko breeders cut eggs open. Most of them just tell you to leave alone. But I really thought the egg wasn't gonna hatch. But lo and behold, to my surprise, she did. So let's go set up her new cage. Well, that's certainly some exciting news. I really wasn't expecting that this morning. But you know what? Good things happen. Good things happen. So she is going to get set up, and I'll probably keep her for a little while until she puts on some good weight, and I'll probably list her on Morph Market. Keep saying her, don't know if it's male or female. But I do incubate right around that 83 to 84 degree temperature. So more than likely there's a good chance that it'll be a female. But time will tell. So shall I show you how I set up the babies? All right. So I have a rack system that I use, and I have these smaller tubs that I use for the babies. The newly hatched. So I use this, and I give them a hide, which this is one of the Vivarium electronic hides. It is not the one that has the humidity sector at the top where a wet sponge goes in. So what I do to provide humidity is I take a piece of paper towel and fold it over and basically fold it into thirds and then fold it into fourths or close to it to where it makes a little packet like that. And then I'll take my sprayer and I just soak it down. And it doesn't have to be like super wet, but you want it moist enough that it's going to hold the humidity for a day or two. So then I'll take and I will place it in the tub and place the humid hide over the top of it. It looks like we got one of Gracie's hairs in there. And I know that doesn't look like a lot of room right there for them to actually go through to access it, but trust me, when they're babies like this, they feel way more secure in tight enclosures. Too big of an enclosure and you'll struggle to get them to eat. The humidity inside there is going to help get them to shed and, you know, grow. It'll help prevent stuck shed on the little fingernails or, you know, eye caps or anywhere else that stuck shed can happen. So then I will also put in a dish. This is actually a Pepsi lid that I'm using. I'll use it for probably the first couple of days. This will be water. And more than likely, she won't even drink out of that because she'll go under her humid hide and humidity will build up on the top of that hide and she'll lick those water drops from the top. That's where she's going to get most of it. Then eventually I will also put one of these cups in. So these cups are really cool. They have, it's really kind of hard to see, but they have this little lip that is recessed down in that goes over the top, snaps in place, makes it very secure so that mealworms cannot climb out. Smaller crickets can't get out of it as well. Also dubia roaches, like little baby dubias, can't get out of it. Bigger dubias can, bigger crickets can, and sometimes super mealworms can. But you can actually pick these little cups up off of Rainbow Mealworms website. There's several other places that sell them. You know, and once again, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I'm just simply telling you where you can pick stuff up. So this will eventually be her food dish. But what I will also do is sprinkle mealworms into the tub on the floor so that as she walks around in the tub, she can find the mealworms, she can hunt for them. Until she learns to eat out of this and does that really well, I'll do both. So the other thing that I will do is also put some vitamin and calcium supplement in there. It's really important for them, especially when they're babies, to have a calcium supplement with vitamin D3 and a vitamin supplement. This actually will help prevent metabolic bone disease. It'll help them as they grow, have strong bones. And you know what, it also really just seems to help with their colors as well. I don't know that it's actually supposed to do that, but it just seems to me that I have brighter colors when I'm using these. Once again, not sponsored by anybody. There's a lot of great vitamin supplements out there and a lot of great calcium supplements out there. You feel free to use what works best for you. And then this will go in my rack system, which has belly heat and is heated to a warm spot of about 92 to 95 degrees. And the rest of the enclosure up here towards the front actually stays fairly cool. Gets as low as like 72 degrees, gives them a warm spot and a cool spot. So that's pretty much how I set them up. They go from this to a larger tub once they actually grow and outgrow this. I move them to the next step and then to the next step from there. Probably about 3 to 6 months is when they'll move to the new tub. If I haven't listed them on Morph Market and sold them to their new homes by then. So that's the exciting news that I had when I came down this morning, and I just wanted to share it with all of you. You know, I really wanted to thank all of you for watching the channel and just ask a big favor. Please comment on the video. The YouTube algorithm loves to see people commenting on the video. Even if you think I'm just full of baloney, comment on the video and tell me why I'm full of baloney. Or if you love seeing these videos, comment and tell me that you love seeing them. Tell me why. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the video. And thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one, the next Gecko Man Room video.